Hey everyone, what's going on? This is the Fusion 7 Healing True School channel on Periscope for your live stream, and also these videos are also available on my YouTube channel Helen Christodoulou if you go over there as well. How are you today? So it's all about the yin and yang of life this morning. My name is Helen Christodoulou. I am your intuitive coach, mentor and facilitator, and also the founder and developer of the Fusion 7 Healing Truth School. If I missed your names, thank you very much for rolling in. I do appreciate your presence here this morning and your hearts. Thank you very much. How are you going today? So, yin and yang, it's actually quite a huge subject, and a very interesting one as well. So this is actually inspired by a client of mine, and we had a very deep session about the yin and the yang of life, and that actually inspired this this little show. So that's what we're going to get into today. So here we go. First of all, we've got to understand that everybody is always seeking fullness. It's something that we're always striving for, is it not? We're always trying to fill our lives with, you know, one thing. If not one thing, it's another thing. We're always trying to fill a gap in our experience, to fill a gap in our lives. And it's often said that this is the human condition. By the way, guys, thank you very much for sharing this broadcast on. I really do appreciate it, that you share it with your community that might find value in this deep esoteric work. So it's often said that this is the human condition, right? But I would say that really it's about humans have become conditioned to be in a constant state of want, in a constant state of seeking externally, especially externally, but also internally too. So, you know, a lot of people who come to the workshops and the classes and to sessions, perhaps they have gone beyond their external conditioned nature, but then they're also trying to fulfill the internal one. So it really is kind of this non-stop seeking that we have within and without, that we're always trying to fulfill. So I'm going to kind of let you know into a little secret of how we can fulfill it without the chase. So the problem with all of this, truth crew, is that we tend to resist emptiness. We deny it, we reject it, we refuse it, and we also run away from it. So what does this actually tell you? It's actually telling you, or telling us, that we are absolutely petrified of it. We are petrified of the yin aspect of life. You see, the yang aspect is the part where we are always trying to be in action, always trying to be fulfilled, always trying to do, be the doer, yeah? This is what we're always chasing, and when it isn't there, when we're not acting upon something within our five senses, it creates a state of panic and of terror. Now, there's a word for this. It's also called stagnation. That's what we call it. It's called stagnation. But it might shock you to understand or believe or to know that stagnation is actually very much required. It's prerequisite. It's the place where we stand in stillness. Hey, how are you? Nice to have you on board. It's this stagnation. It's something that we really do need to deal with. It's something that we really do need to allow. Okay. So stillness, doing nothing, not acting upon something within our five senses, creates this panic and creates this terror, and we call it stagnation. Yeah, that's what we call it. So there is actually a lot of taboo about what we think stagnation actually is. We think of it as something bad, don't we? You know, we look down on it. So what we actually do is we come into the yin state, this kind of nothingness that I've just described. And it can feel like an abyss, it can feel like a bottomless pit, and it can also feel like death. We also can tend to feel depressed when we are in that state. And also when we are in that state, it can also breed other kinds of conditions such as anger, jealousy, competition, separation. These are the kind of conditions that it breeds. Thank you very much for the hearts, do appreciate that. But it isn't actually the natural state of the yin condition. So what we need to do is actually come into a place of being able to embrace the yin as much as we do the yang. So in order to do this, we need to come into a deep intuitive understanding of the yin state, the yin and the yang state. And we need to understand that there cannot be fullness without first being empty, and we cannot be empty without being full. So it is, you know, the cycle of life, if you will, or at least currently in this stage of our awareness and our evolutionary process, we are locked into a state of cycles. So that makes the yin and yang philosophy very relevant at this stage of our evolution. Now, why do I say that? The reason that I say that is because the yin and yang state is something that we are temporarily passing through as humanity. We won't remain there, because yin and yang does actually dictate a state of diversity, of duality and polarity. And these are cosmic law, yes, universal law, but it is something that we will need to transcend in order for us to truly find universal consciousness. So we need to understand basically that in order to transcend this dualistic nature, we must first be able and capable of accepting it and embracing it, both states. And so we need to not look down on the yin aspect of our nature or the yin experiences that we encounter on this life. We need to be able to accept, we need to be able to embrace, and not look at it as something lowly or bad or dirty or naughty or something that causes us pain. And it really is up to each individual if it's going to cause us pain or not, isn't it? So until now, we have seen the yang state as something that causes us pain, that causes us discomfort, and causes us a lot of fear. So we need to be able to come into the place of transcendence of that. And so in order to do that, Truth Crew, we must learn to be full through those periods of emptiness. So those are my last words upon the yin and yang of life. But what we're going to do in our next broadcast is perhaps actually engage in a process where we can actually bring our yin and yang properties at this current state of awareness into a state of balance. So I hope that you can join me for that. That will be on Friday at a similar time to this. If you are not following, then don't forget to follow here on Periscope, and also don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Helen Christodoulou, and you can leave any comments over there with that, and I will be very, very happy to engage with you. So until then, may truth always be the primary force that is with you. I hope that you are able to enjoy and engage in the yin and yang of life with grace, with ease and with comfort. So until Friday, I must there be ye. It means we are primary source. Take good care for now. Lots of love. Ciao.